Hey everybody, this is Chris with KnowYourBest.com. If you talk to yourself, most people assume you're crazy or a genius. We all have this self-talk, and unless you're that guy on the subway, most of it isn't out loud. Most of us have as many as 60,000 thoughts per day. The scary part is that 80% of those thoughts are actually negative in nature. Have you ever considered some sort of life change or trying something new only to feel an inner resistance? Those are your self-limiting beliefs. And today we're going to debunk the 10 most common ones. So I appreciate you being here. Let's go. The first one is, I don't deserve a better life. Many people suffer from what's called imposter syndrome. They feel unworthy of success. First, realize that someone or something infected you with this belief. Those thoughts are not yours, so you should definitely question their validity. Think about the small victories from your past where you improved some aspect of your life, and maybe directly or as a byproduct, you improved someone else's. Maybe that's doing something brave that inspired someone. Whether you realize it or not, at some point, you were someone's hero. So you deserve the success that you earned, believe me. The other one is, I don't have the right luck. You hear this all the time, right? People think that success is the product of good fortune. And, in some cases, it really seems that way. But think about the setbacks that most successful people have encountered. If you really peel back the layers, you'll see the songs no one listened to, the dozens of product failures that people didn't buy. Eventually these folks, reach this elusive moment of success. But that work and perseverance was instrumental to that. So, don't think about trying to fall into luck. Think about trying to create it. The other one is, I don't have enough time. And if you're a single parent with a full-time job, I'm with you. You might not have that much time to work on a side business or work out. But instead of giving up, just dedicate the smallest chunk that you possibly can. Maybe that's half an hour, maybe that's 15 minutes. Just start where you can and work your way up. Also, I found that as I cut out a lot of things that were wasting a lot of my time, Netflix, video games, I was able to have a lot more for my passions. So definitely audit your day and see if there's anywhere where you can regain your time. Another self-limiting belief is I'm not smart enough. And our society really labels successful people as geniuses. But if we go by IQ score, only like 1% of the population are considered geniuses. So that probably isn't it. Real success, however you define it, probably has a lot more to do with things besides IQ, creativity, emotional intelligence, right? No one is born with these qualities, but anyone can really build them and hone them. So that's your opportunity. Another one is, I've never done this before. No one became experienced without doing something for the first time, right? At one time, you didn't know how to ride a bike or drive a car. You had your first day in class, maybe your first day at the job. You might have known very little about what you were doing or nothing at all. But humans have a way of adapting to our environment and stepping up to a challenge. So even if we fail, we can learn valuable lessons. So that's really not a negative thing at all. In other words, don't be afraid of a lack of experience. Just try. Just try to get started. Another self-limiting belief is, I lack the money and resources. You probably heard it takes money to make money. It's a frustrating catch-22. How do you make money if you have none to start? The good news is that the internet has made this less of a barrier, right? There are tons of businesses you can start for free or cheap. I link to those in my blog. If you're working on a 9-to-5 and you want to earn some extra cash, there's a lot more options now for side gigs. You can fundraise through peer-to-peer lending, crowdfunding, donations, and events. And as Tony Robbins put it, it's not the lack of resources, it's the lack of resourcefulness that stops people. Another self-limiting belief is I'm not the right body type. This is a common excuse in any domain where athleticism or physical image is essential. Yes, it can be an issue, but the truth is there's almost always a counterexample. At 5'3", Muggsy Bogues was the shortest player ever in the NBA. And he played 14 seasons and became the Charlotte Hornets' career leader in assists and steals. At 6'7", Jack Batchelor was supposedly too tall to be a long-distance runner. Instead of complaining, he became a 2-time U.S. Olympian. Right? So make the most of your advantages. Find ways to reduce the liability of everything else. Another self-limiting belief is I don't have the right connections. And no doubt, having a network, having connections is vital. It's vital in a lot of domains. But what if you're starting from nothing? Right? The good news is that you can build a formidable network in a pretty short period of time in most cases. through LinkedIn, Facebook groups, meetups. Those are great ways to start. You can reconnect with fellow alums from your school, coworkers, friends. Ask them to introduce you to someone you might want to meet. With the right attitude and the respect for others' time, I found that it's not that hard to make new connections. Another self-limiting belief is, so-and-so is in my way. People are quick to blame others for their lack of success or opportunity. It could be their boss, their spouse, their mom. If someone in your life is always pessimistic or demeaning, try to cut them out or at least reduce contact as much as possible. If you have a manager that hates your guts and will never promote you, try to leave that department or company. Maybe you have to wait till the economy gets better, but eventually do that. If your roommate's a jerk, try to move out when you can. If someone is impeding your success, again, do whatever it takes to reduce their impact. Another excuse is, lack of self-discipline, right? And without discipline, victory is very difficult, right? Big goals take time, practice, a lot of repetitions. Your motivation will get you up once or twice, but discipline helps you do it daily. So if you want to build more discipline, my advice is to start with small steps that you can turn into daily habits. Publishing a book could mean writing for just 20 minutes a day. Commit to this daily practice until it becomes as automatic as possible. Another one is, I don't know where to start. And the mind tends to overcomplicate things, like what to do, when to call, how to say no. We fall into this analysis paralysis, right, where we end up doing nothing. And inaction is usually the worst outcome. It often leads to frustration and regret. And worst of all, it makes us feel disempowered. Unless that failure is fatal, take a chance, go for it. You can always course correct later. So that's my list. Are you struggling with some of these self-limiting beliefs? Have you found ways to overcome them? Please let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe or go to knowyourbest.com to get great self-improvement tips each week. Thanks a lot.